Hey guys, it's Aaron's, and today we're going over some leaked news that had taken place last month, and that is 14 Kanto Pokemon that were re-trademarked. So all of this video is speculation, none of it is fact. We do not know if these Pokemon are going to be getting Mega Evolutions, but if they do, here are my countdown of least favorite to favorite, or most obvious to least obvious. Because all of these Pokemon are my favorites. They're all in the first gen, which means that they've got a very, very, very precious place in my heart. Yeah, there were 15 Pokemon that got recopyrighted, and Hitmontop is one of them, and he's from Gen 2, which is random. But the 14 from Kanto that got recopyrighted, or their copyrights or their trademarks reinstated, are very specific to the Let's Go games. And so I decided to do a top 15 Mega Evolutions that are probably going to be introduced in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So without further ado, let's start counting them down. So first on the list is Raichu. So Raichu was a very obvious choice. He is your partner Pokemon if you pick Let's Go Pikachu. And so this is fan art as to what Mega Raichu could look like. And all of these fan arts were taken from various sources. You can find the sources for every image down in the description. I did not create any of this stuff. So the first one is Raichu. I thought this was a cool little image because it's got him in this like battle pose, and he's kind of like a clearly, obviously evolved form of Raichu. So next on the list is Vaporeon at number 14. So Vaporeon, and you're going to see where I'm going with the next couple ones, is an evolved form of Eevee. And so this is what, Mega Vaporeon could look like. Thought it was really cool, kind of swimming along. Interesting design there. I'm not sure that they'd go with that. I'm not sure that they'd go with a Raichu design either. These are just what are pretty close to what could be the official, because they don't fall too far from the original designs. So next on the list is Flareon. See, I told you could guess where I'm going with this because obviously the next one's going to be Jolteon. And it's kind of hard to count down those, so I kind of just went with like my least favorite first to my favorite, because I think my first time playing the original Pokemon Blue game, I think I chose Jolteon. I think my second time I chose Flareon. I don't know, not that I'm not a fan of Vaporeon, I think that the original 3 evolutions are probably the coolest Eevee evolutions. So with Mega Flareon, here is a pretty cool prediction. Its ear styles kind of give it this like dog look and kind of make it look more like Leafeon and Glaceon, which I thought was really interesting. So next up on the list, number 12, is of course Jolteon. You guessed it. And here's what the Mega could look like. So this one's a really cool design. It's kind of dark and brooding with like this really cool overcast shadow. Looks kind of like a storm, which I thought fit kind of the electric vibe. So number 11 on the list kind of throws you into a loop, which is Golem. So what I decided to choose for Golem's Mega Evolution I thought was really cool. It's got this like kind of like magma look, like his rocks become like this molten lava kind of thing, and he just looks more fierce. Kind of a cool thing. So he could be one of Bruno's Pokemon in the Elite Four. Thought that could be a really good addition. Maybe give all of the Elite Four like a Mega Evolution, and as this list continues, you might be able to guess some of the Pokemon on it. So next up on the list is Weezing, which you can guess where they would use a Mega Weezing, and here's the one that I chose. This one's kind of interesting, adds another head. There's a lot of smoke, clearly, coming out of all sorts of spouts. But Mega Weezing could be used by James in Team Rocket, which clearly leads to the next one on the list. Number 9 is Arbok. And the design that I chose is this cool looking snake with wings kind of thing. Do I think they'd do this? Probably not. It'd be a really interesting type combination. In fact, I think Mega Evolutions gives them the ability to do type combinations, so a lot of these designs will probably change into something more. If they decide to do Mega Evolutions, I think that they will be dual types, just to kind of mix it up a little. But I thought this one would be interesting because it was flying. So number 8 on the list is Hitmonchan. And the design that I decided to go with is this cool thing, it was honestly the best that I could find. There were a couple other ones that kind of tied for first in my mind, but I'd seen them used in other things and decided to go with something that wouldn't be an obvious pick. I'm not entirely sure about the colors in this design. It's very America, which is cool, but like having Hitmonchan wearing like American colors is kind of weird. But I thought the design was cool because it just bulked Hitmonchan up a bit, and that's kind of what they're probably going to be going for. So next on the list is Hitmonlee, and clearly the obvious transition into the other one. They would both be used in the dojo. That's in Saffron City, so kind of an obvious choice right there. The design that I chose kind of adds this like these scarves and like makes them kind of look a little more metallic, which would be interesting if they did like a fighting metal kind of combination. Again, like I definitely think that going for type combinations with Mega Evolutions is the way to go, but that's just my personal opinion. Number 6 is Starmie, and Starmie's Misty's Pokemon, so maybe rebattling those gyms, you'd, you know, run into her, or maybe she's going to be in the Elite Four too, who knows. But the design that I decided to go with changed the color palette completely, because as you know, Starmie is purple and Staryu is this yellow, so a good way to kind of put the two into perspective is this really crazy sea green with this purple, which I think is beautiful. I think whoever did this artwork is incredible. So number 5 on the list is Persian. Obviously here because of Giovanni, Final Gym, Mega Evolution, it makes sense. The design that I decided to go with kind of creates this Sphinx kind of feeling with this orb and this really cool looking Egyptian kind of vibe. It's definitely a really cool design. I don't think that they would go in that direction, but if they decided to make Persian into a Sphinx for his Mega, maybe making it like a dual like ground type, that'd be really interesting. Number 4 has one of the biggest potentials for a Mega Evolution, and I'm surprised they haven't done it yet, and that's Machamp. And the design that I decided to go with adds another set of arms, kind of gives him this really cool kind of mystic Indian kind of feel. Pokemon's definitely done this before, so I doubt they're going to go this direction with Machamp, but I am interested to see what kind of a Mega Machamp would be, and if they did a dual type, what kind of type he would be, if he'd be like a fighting and a dark. So number 3 on this list is actually one of my favorite Pokemon. I don't know why. Jinx has always been a very interesting Pokemon to me, especially with all of the controversy that has surrounded this Pokemon from the day that it was put on the air. I think that this Pokemon has a lot of Mega potential, especially with being one of the Elite Four's Pokemon, Lorelei, using Ice type. And the design that I chose, which completely blew my mind when I googled it, is this. Kind of definitely makes her like a club kind of singer, like a jazz club singer. Very, very 20s vibe, something that I definitely love. There were a couple other designs that kind of went in like a Pearl Bailey direction, but all of the designs that I could find for Jinx definitely gave this like parlor room singer kind of vibe, which I think is incredible because Jinx is such an interesting Pokemon, very mysterious, and what's more mysterious than a parlor room jazz singer? I think the idea, all these people kind of coming up with the same idea, it's like this could be the direction that they go in. So next up on the list would probably be almost everybody's favorite Pokemon from Gen 1, or if not, quite a bit of people, and that would be Dragonite. And this Pokemon has potential for being a Mega Evolution for Lance, which would be the leader of the Elite Four. And if you think about it, previously on the list, there were 2 other Elite Four Pokemon that could be potential, and then with Agatha, there's already Mega Gengar, so it makes perfect sense. And if red or blue or even green is going to be the person that you have to challenge after the Elite Four, like the champion, the Eevees and the Raichus make sense. It just does. So the design that I chose for Dragonite, or Mega Dragonite, is this kind of cool looking dragon, very cloud design. Again, has this really interesting like mystic Indian kind of feel. The color scheme is a little more dramatic. they went with like this dark blue, which is kind of in contrast to like the Dratini and Dragonair kind of being like this light blue, and then, you know, Dragonite being like this crazy vibrant yellow. Interesting to add wings to the ears as well. I just thought it was a really neat design. Before I unveil my mystery Pokemon, go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video, hit subscribe if you want more videos from me, and ring that bell if you want to be notified when I upload videos. So for this final pick, I know that I went through all 14 Pokemon that were in the copyright, or the re-copyright, the trademark. So this final Pokemon is one that I think they should add, but they're probably not going to. I'm almost 90% positive they are not going to add this Pokemon. But it is in my top 5 favorite Pokemon, and it is the Pokemon that we get in the Pokeball Plus, so it would make sense. A lot of us would be able to get it, and that's Mew. So the design that I chose for Mew is this interesting angel kind of Pokemon design, which no way in a million years would they ever go in this direction, because we've seen the direction that they've gone with Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo, both designs, and neither of them looked anything like this, and Mew and Mewtwo are very similar. This does kind of draw in that Mewtwo kind of vibe, what with his like feet being very Mewtwo and his body type being more Mewtwo than before, and his head just a tiny bit, but the angel wings and the like feathery tail, I just would never see it happening. So yeah, so those are my picks, that was my countdown, and those were the 14 Pokemon that had their trademarks renewed, which begs the question, are they going to get a Mega Evolution? And if you look at all the Pokemon that have Mega Evolution right now in Kanto, there's a handful of them, but there could be more. And they're already putting a lowland Pokemon into this game, which are alternate forms of the Pokemon that exist in this region. Why not add more Mega Evolutions and increase the game experience? I'm just saying. I almost guarantee these 14 Pokemon will be getting a Mega treatment for this game. And they're waiting until maybe the day of, or the week of, or even after the game is released to expose us to all of that. So, thanks for watching.